Before we let you go,
Yeah.
I love to play a game with my guests called Do You Know Me? We are remote, but we have Amanda submitting our Do You Know Me questions.
Okay.
Are you down to play?
Yeah.
It's real simple.
Okay.
Has Emily done this or that? If you are, anecdotal stories are welcome.
Okay.
You don't have to. Simply yes or no's. And we'll go from there. Do you know me with Emily DiDonato? Does Emily consider themselves an extrovert or introvert?
Introvert. I like being social and I like have to be for my job and my work, but I definitely restore by being alone, like with the shades drawn, like watching Bachelor in Paradise.
Is Kyle more extrovert or introvert?
He is more extroverted.
Okay.
You wouldn't think
you
that.
You find that to be a nice...
Yeah, it's a nice balance. I feel like people would think that he was more introverted because he comes across a bit more like quiet and stern. And people think because of my work, I'm like, hello, everyone. And I'm like, no, it's just my job. But then like in terms of how I restore or like spend my time when I can, it's definitely not like at a raging party.
Great. Question number 2. A little more invasive. It's going to require a little more honesty, potentially.
Okay.
Has Emily ever gone into Karen mode with customer service? Not maybe even full on Karen, but hey, do you remember a time where you're like, okay, I probably was a little like they're just doing their job and I feel bad?
No, I actually don't think I have Karen mode in me. I'm not even just saying that.
I actually
to be
believe
cool.
that. You seem really quite kind.
I think if anything, if I get frustrated in a customer service moment, I just like cry, not because I like, I'm just like, why are you trying to ruin my day? Help me.
All right. Does Emily listen to true crime podcasts?
No, I do not.
Really? Not into... That was a very definitive, quick answer.
Yeah, that's not really like... It's just kind of dark, and I prefer kind of like lighter
No serial
content.
killers for you.
No lighter content. I love your podcast, of course, and
very kind of you to say.
But not that.
Okay. A little bit of pop culture and history in this question. Can Emily name all 4 members of the Beatles?
No. Do you guys think I'm that old? Who submitted these questions?
No, you don't have to be old. They're
John
legendary.
Lennon.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and George. What's George's last name?
But I feel less bad. You guys don't know either.
George Harrison. Oh. George Harrison. Yeah, I don't. That's not an age thing. Does Emily prefer TikTok over Instagram? The big debate.
I would say I spend more time on TikTok. I will say it's just a little bit more entertaining, but I feel like my attention span is officially like a goldfish because of it.
Yeah. Do you feel like every time you're on TikTok and then you pop over to Instagram, it's like going to the party that you didn't want to go to?
Yeah, I do feel like Instagram has gotten a lot more boring, unfortunately.
Step it up.
I know.
I think I'm going to say this is a yes. Has Emily ever sobbed in public?
Oh my God, yes. Who hasn't? I need to know the who doesn't at some point in your life.
Well, if you count TV, I certainly have.
Yeah, you've taken it like another level.
Does Emily have any unusual talents?
Oh
no's fine. I don't.
I was gonna say, like, do you? Like, what is it?
Wait, don't you have?
Can you sing
you're like
or
super
something?
flex. Natalie, I'm talking to Natalie, my girlfriend. She's in the room. Oh no, and Natalie absolutely has a hidden talent of some kind. She has a photographic memory, at least to the point where, and I'm not exaggerating, she knows every word to every song. If she hears it once, it locks in, and she knows all the words.
That's almost like a different kind of like photographic memory.
It's like
something with music.
Yeah, it's remarkable. Has Emily ever made a first move on a guy? Have you ever shot your shot?
Yeah, I definitely have. Yeah, I think I did when I was younger. But I think like my approach to that was just like going out of your way to talk to someone that you want to talk to. Like,
have you ever been rejected?
Um, yes, I have. Yes, I have. Yes. Mm-hmm. Don't love that. Don't love that. Didn't then. Yeah. And it sucked, but it was also like, it is what it is, right?
I guess it's a very healthy thing. I think
Yeah,
everyone
you
needs to
kinda need it.
experience. Yeah. Has Emily ever gotten grounded?
I was such a no.
You never got grounded?
No, I was so good. And I felt like I was so honest with my parents too, like about what I was doing and what I was up to. And I was the youngest. And I feel like by the time I came around, they were just like, I was just like, tell them, I'd be like, oh, by the way, like I did not sleep at that person's house last night. I actually like went to a party and did this. And my parents would be like, what, like, why did you lie? And why are you telling us this now? And they'd be like, let's not do that anymore. And I'd just be like, okay.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, they just sent us a new question.
Okay. I'm scared.
I'm gonna think the answer is no here. Although, because like you and Nally are similar, and like Nally's very like calm energy, except that I would say yes to Emily for this, to Nally for this next question, and the question is, because like Nally, the caring question, like Nally's so kind,
Yeah.
and so empathetic to like everyone in the world. However, the question is, has Emily ever had a moment of any kind of road rage? And I would say, Natalie, like you see a little like aggression, a little bit come out when she's driving sometimes.
It's hard. It's hard. Yes, for sure. I am such a bad driver. And actually, this weekend we were driving to a wedding in New Jersey, and I took one wrong turn and costed us an additional 2 hours in the car. And
you and Kyle.
Yeah.
How did he handle that?
Oh, he was screaming and I was also screaming, but he was like on the phone working, and I did that. And I just like, I literally grabbed the steering wheel and like, I was like, if anyone in the cars going by sees this like pregnant lady like this, like sobbing, like banging on the steering wheel, but that's not really road rage. It was like my own mistake that I was so mad at myself about, but I definitely let it out in the car sometimes.
I mean, you just described like a,
it was so upsetting.
Well, not only that, but like that's why like that is one of those like honest mistake moments that like he's gonna have a reaction to, but like
and he was in the bridal party or the groomsmen party, and I made him late to it, and like that just triggered me in so many ways. Like being late, don't like that. Like it just, there was lots of tears, rageful tears.
Final question.
Yeah.
Does Emily still have any belongings, clothing, old letters from an ex of any kind?
Luckily, none of my exes really had anything that like worth keeping. I think I have like one photograph upstate at my parents' house that an ex took. A really nice framed photograph. And that I believe is it.
I'm a big believer in not feeling like you have to throw away all those things to appease your current or new relationship, because at some point when you find your person and let me know if you agree or disagree, and you get married and you have a family and you have like a truly meaningful real love that has a true foundation, you won't care about those little things. And those are just memories of your life that got you there. And you'll want to look back and read a letter you wrote to someone else, or that someone wrote to you. Yeah. That doesn't mean anything at all to you now, other than like that was your life. Actually, like a time machine. Those things what do they used to call those things? You'd bury it with some memories and you dig it up.
Yeah. Like, my husband and I both have massive clear memory boxes. So I lied. I totally have old things from exes and people. And so does he. Yeah. Ours are like stacked on top of each other. It's like, it's just like moments from your life.
It's not about, you're not over them anymore.
No.
It's just, and maybe sometimes to get over someone, you should like give those to your parents or get rid of it. Don't like, so it's not there. But yeah, I think sometimes a new relationship where there's some insecurity and newness, and especially if you came out of an old relationship and you're like, oh, you dated for 6 years and how will I compare to them? And then you just start being like, well, why are you wearing that watch if they gave it to you for your birthday? You're just like, oh, fuck, I don't know. It's a nice watch or something. And I think that's something young couples should try not to do.